My name's Amber.
Okay. Karina Soto.
My name is Kevin Barlowski. I'm the Director of Theater and Performance Studies.
My name's Natalie Monsalve.
I'm Chris Barnett, and I'm the Associate Dean of the College of Arts, Sciences, and Management.
Okay, I'm Emily. I'm 19 and I'm a sophomore.
I'm Jackie. I'm 19 and a sophomore. And we're roommates.
Yes.
My name is Tom Loper, and I'm the Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences and Management, and I identify myself as a proud father and grandfather.
Hi, my name's Alyssa. I'm 19 and I'm a sophomore.
I identify as a woman and a graduate of a women's college, and as a mother.
I identify as bisexual, and for gender pronouns, I use she and her.
I identify myself as a lesbian. She, her.
I identify as pansexual, and pronouns I prefer are she and her.
I am bisexual.
I'm straight. Just like
Kidding. So I would call myself a gay male.
I'm gay, but I can also identify as queer. I have thought of this question several times for a long time, and I have this thought process that sexuality is fluid. She, her, they, them, preferably.
And that would be my daughter. And interestingly, I proposed the idea that perhaps she was gay first, and I said, do you think that that might be something that you're feeling right now and wrestling with? And she said, no, no, no. And then 2 months later, she came back to me and said, you know, what you raised a couple of months ago, I think that that's the case. And I'll be honest with you, my reaction was, okay. And that's pretty much the way that we've handled it. It took a couple of moments for me, a couple of months, to just kind of reconcile the way I envisioned her future. But at the end of the day, it makes absolutely no difference to me. She's amazing, she's astonishing, my family loves her, and I'm really glad that when that important moment came for her to come out to us, that the answer was, great, we love you.
So the first person I came out to was my RA at the time, Natalie. And I walked into a room sobbing, and I was like, Natalie, I think I like a girl. And I was just sobbing the entire night, and she helped me kind of...
Well, in 4th grade, I was in the bathroom with my best friend, and she leaned and kissed me. It was shocking, but I liked it. So after that whole, I guess, little show or whatever, I didn't tell anybody that I was lesbian because I still wasn't sure. But after a while, I actually came out to my aunt, and it was really hard. It was about after about 8 years, I didn't tell anybody, and I was really unsure. So when I came out to my aunt, she told me that she already knew because God gave her a dream telling her that I was gay, and she saw me with a girl holding hands, actually. Another way she found out is when I went to the mall. She went to the mall too, but she texted me saying, I see you, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was holding hands with her. So after the dream, she saw it in reality, so I'm guessing it was accurate. It was really hard to come out to my aunt because she's really religious and she's really strict, and every time she would see any lesbians holding hands or anyone with the same sex together, she would freak out and she wouldn't be around them. She's homophobic. How about that?
Yeah. This lovely lady right here. It's actually a really cute story. So it was in January of this year. And well, I guess like I had known since I was like 16. I just kind of didn't want to like accept it. But then I got here and I started to like own it. So in January I realized that it was time, okay? And so I spent like 5 minutes the day I realized I was going to do it, just pacing the hallway in front of her room, trying to get up the courage to actually tell her. And so I finally like go into her room and we're just like sitting there. She's writing her paper. And of course I would interrupt her when she's doing that. And I looked at her and I said, I have something to tell you. And she looked at me and I was like, so, and I kind of drew it out for a really long time. And then I was like, well, I'm bi. Just to let you know.
So I just casually looked up for my paper and I said, okay. And then I went back to what I was doing. I didn't know what to say.
I was expecting like a bigger reaction.
I don't know. You're the first person who ever came out to me. I didn't have a guidebook. No one told me what to do. There is no step-by-step process, okay? And I didn't want it to be a big deal because I didn't want you to start crying on me. I didn't have time for you to cry on me. That paper was due the day after. I mean, you interrupted me in a very difficult process.
It was important.
I know, and I'm so glad that you told me, but I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I felt like if I was to hug you or something, it would be really awkward, because I don't know if you would be insulted that I was excited that you were bi, and if I mean, I was never going to treat you any different just because of your sexual orientation. Like, you're my friend, regardless of what happens, you're still my friend. Like, okay, don't start crying on me, because I can't have that.
Now, two and why?
So the first person I came out with, two, which was the funniest story. Me and my old roommate, my very first roommate, we came out at the same time, the same day, at 5:30 in the morning, to each other. Story goes, I was sitting down, I wake up and she wakes up at the same time, and she turned on the light, and she was kind of like really upset, sad, and she's like, I need to tell you something, Nat. And I was like, I need to tell you something too. So I was like, you go first, and we're going back and forth or whatever. And she tells me that she thinks she's bisexual. And I start crying hysterically because I'm like, oh my God, like, I think I'm bisexual too. So we went through this whole process of like coming out to each other, and it was probably the craziest experience because I remember just sitting there and hours on end we were talking. Like, we probably talked till like 7:30, we had class at 8, and we were like, wait, we just came out at the same time. She was the first person I had ever come out to, ever experienced, like, expressed any interest in women, and she was the same way. And I think that that's one of the reasons why my coming out, like, to her was so easy, because, I don't know, who comes out at 5:30 in the morning? Not very many people.
I'm pleased to say that my son came out to me about 4 years ago, just about 4 years ago on Thanksgiving. It was exactly 4 years ago on the evening of Thanksgiving of that year. And he came home, and he actually came out to his mother first. And then his mother said, well, you better talk to Dad. And she came back, and he came back and said, Dad already knows. And he and I haven't even talked yet. And the reason why he said that was because I had been encouraging him to be himself and to, you know, talk to me and to talk to his friends, talk to his mother about who he was. And on that day, he came out, and it was one of the happiest days of my life.
I think it was my cousin Miranda, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it was the summer before freshman year, and it was through a text message. We were about to go to a Green Day concert, and I texted her, I was like, can I tell you something? And she was like, duh. And I said, I think I'm bisexual. She was like, okay. And then we just kind of left it at that. Okay.
What were the emotions you were feeling?
I think I slowly grew with my acceptance of it. And one Tuesday night, I ran into these two girls. This is how the story started 15 minutes ago. That I had done a show with many years before that. Oh, I think Heather. Heather was the name of one of them. She had a sister. And they both showed up. And we were sort of like outside, like in the parking lot area. And they're like, oh my gosh, hi, like, you're here. Like, it's so good to see you. And we're catching up. And they're like, so, like, you know, like, what brings you here to Zane? And I think because I was so removed from them and I hadn't seen them in so long, I jumped up on top of the nearest car onto the roof. And I said, like, very loudly, I was like, why wouldn't I be here? I was like, it's Tuesday night. I was like, and I'm gay. And then I was asked to get down off of the car. But those are the first two people. And I guess the entire crowd of Zane's that night that I came out to.
Confused. I didn't really know what to think. It was a mixture of excitement, happiness, confusion, but most of all, I didn't know what to think because it was such a new thought in my head. So I was just kind of, what do I do with this?
So yes, like right from the get-go, I'd be out with college. But that also meant that I also had some very important people in my life that I had to still come out to. And for me, that was really nerve-wracking. It took me a long time in high school to sort of come to terms with my sexuality. And like I used to pray a lot at night that I wasn't gay. And there was lots of like bargains and barters. I knew that I needed to come out to my parents.
And I started questioning myself. So on the daily, like sophomore year was like, wow, like I'm looking at girls' butts, I'm doing crazy things that I've never done before, and this is just not working for me. Like I would go home like thinking, I was like, oh my god, someone saw me, like what am I gonna do? Oh my god, how am I gonna cover this? Like what am I gonna say? I didn't know what to do, and I was really, really lost. Like it was a part of time where I was like, oh my god, like what is going on with me? And I felt like I was the only person. I thought I was just losing myself.
Well, I then went and told my, what is she, like a peer mentor last year? And then from there it just grew to like the friends on campus. RA, I talked to her a lot about it. Yeah, friends. And then it grew to like people who I'd known since high school. Yeah, I told a few of them. All good reactions. Good reactions. I'm sorry.
Did you get your bigger reaction instead
No,
of my okay?
I still haven't gotten a bigger reaction, so.
You see, my friends were extremely accepting. They're just like, okay, that's cool. They're kind of like, yeah, I have a gay best friend. Yeah, there were those people. They're not like that now. My family is a different story. Like my cousin and my sister were just like, well, my cousin was really accepting. My sister was more like, I don't really care. But my parents know because I was outed by the police.
Every single one of us on this earth is here for a reason. Everybody has their own set of gifts to give to the universe. And embrace who you are and embrace the diversity in our population and support your brothers and sisters on their journey and help them feel comfortable in their own skin, help them feel confident in their own path, and help them to fight for equality because they deserve it, just like everybody deserves it. Give themselves, to accept themselves, to not be afraid to explore, experiment, to find people that they trust to talk to, find people that they think are good to the core, to explore just where they're going, who they are, that type of thing. Because I think that's important, that they feel not judged, that they just feel accepted.
I really didn't know what to say other than, you know, your parents love you and they love you for who you are. And if you're honest with them, and they've taught you to be honest, and she told me that they had, then be honest with them. But first be honest with yourself, and now that you've done that, be honest with them. And you know, what good is it going to do to keep it to yourself?
Come to me in the past and want to talk about coming out or the issues that they're experiencing with their families. And I'm not really sure that I have any advice in particular. I think the most important thing to do is just listen. I can't really even imagine how difficult it is to be asking the questions and arriving at the places that students are going through. I know that it's a very complex time for them and their families, and so what I've tried to do is just listen and ask questions and give the student the space and the time she or he needs in order to come to a place where they finally feel comfortable and confident in who they are. And so that would be the same advice that I would have for anyone who's working with students who are experiencing what they're experiencing and asking the questions that they're asking, is just let them speak, because in having them share their stories and share their experiences, it really helps them to sort through what's going on internally.
My advice to everyone is actually take the time to focus on you and know what you want. And it's okay to be confused, and it's okay to be lost.
I try to be a big part on this campus by trying to be a mentor to as many people as I can. And I don't know, I would hope that I am, but I don't really know. I mean, Ginger has been the only person to really, you know, tell me her story, and I feel, you know, I feel really excited that, you know, she decided to trust me with that. But I mean, I think I also kind of like work on myself a lot because of that. Because, you know, sometimes I do question myself, like, what am I? Like, because I mean, I can tell you quite honestly, oh, that girl's really attractive or she's really cute. But like, it'll end right there. But I do the same thing with guys. I'll be like, oh yeah, he's really attractive, and then that's kind of it. So I don't know myself. I mean, I say I'm straight just because I don't know, but I think the proper term would be questioning with a straight edge. At least that's what I call it myself. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think other people really know me that well to, you know, tell me something so deep, because I mean, that's a really big thing to tell someone, especially if you don't know how they're going to react. So I just hope that other people can, you know, see this and know that, you know, they need anybody to talk to regardless of what it is. Like, I'm always free to help anyone, because I know it's a really important thing to feel like you're welcome and you're accepted for who you are 110%.
Yes, I absolutely own my identity right now. And I don't think that my sexuality defines me by any means, but I do think that it is a part of who I am, and it's a part that I embrace and I love and I own.
In my life, this is the best age to be. This is the best time to be alive. I'm so hopeful that our country is finally embracing the diversity, and that our country is allowing people to marry same-sex marriages. I just think it's a home run. It's awesome, because why should anybody be discriminated against because of their sexual orientation? And why should they ever be prevented from marrying the person they love the most in the world and having a family? And I just hope as time goes on, there's more acceptance of that, and there's more acceptance that gay couples would be great parents and would be great parents of adopted children also.
What people have said for many, many years is that person needs to be comfortable in their own skin. And I have to tell you that, you know, at my age, I'm feeling pretty comfortable in my skin at this time. When I was younger and I didn't know, you know, what I wanted to be, and I was very competitive, and I was trying to get ahead, I must admit that there were times when I would project myself as being something other than who I was. But at this point in my life, it is what it is. I've done my thing in business. You know, I've raised 4 kids. I put them through. My wife and I have put them through college. I've been married for 34 years. Yep, 34 years. And no, you know, it's 44 years. 44 years. Oh my goodness. So I guess I'm pretty comfortable in my skin at this point in my life, and very happy to be here at Bay Path. And so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about where things are right now.
I have learned to definitely own my own identity. I don't exactly know what I am, and I don't pretend to know. I'm only 21 years old and I have a really long time to think about it. But I'm happy at where I am right now, and I wouldn't change my experience or my... I don't even know how to explain it. I just wouldn't change any of my experiences for the entire world. And every single thing I've done to this point has gotten me to be so accepting of myself and accepting of others and learning and growing every day. And I could never be happier about that. And I really am blessed that I've come to this feeling that I'm content and happy with myself. And that makes me happy every day. And as I said, I wake up every morning wanting to be a better person, and accepting myself is part of that. So I couldn't be happier.
I think I do. I'll be honest, I've never really questioned my identity. I've just accepted it as I've gotten older. And so I'm really confident in being a woman, being a woman who went to a women's college. And I'm particularly confident in my role as the mother of 2 young teenage girls.
Yes, look at this. I bring this everywhere. I went to the New York Pride Parade. Oh my god. I've never seen so many people own their identity in one place for the whole day. That inspired me to just keep on going and be who I want to be, and be who I want to be with, and just be you.
I do now own my identity. I am fully out. I'm very comfortable with who I am and what I identify as. I have no problem telling people. I don't care if there may be consequences. It's just who I am. I'm not going to hide it for the comfort of someone else. And I mean, even my family, I haven't personally talked about it with a lot of them, but I know they know. And I'm not hiding it. And I can't wait to bring someone home with me.
Now I think yes, I own my identity. I'm very confident with who I am right now. At first it wasn't like that. I was scared of the whole label and the identity of being bisexual, but I think now, at this point in my life, I'm super confident of who I am and where I'm at. Come here. Okay, come here.